If I were again beginning my studies, I would follow the advice of Plato and start with mathematics. The book of nature is written in the language of mathematics. To understand the universe, you must understand the language in which it's written, the language of mathematics. What has philosophy got to do with measuring anything? It's the mathematicians you have to trust, and they measure the skies like we measure a field. Philosophy is written in that great book which ever lies before our eyes. I mean the universe, but we cannot understand it if we do not first learn the language and grasp the symbols in which it is written. The sun, with all those planets revolving around it and dependent on it, can still ripen a bunch of grapes as if it had nothing else in the universe to do. We cannot teach people anything. We can only help them discover it within themselves. I have never met a man so ignorant that I couldn't learn something from him. You cannot teach a person something he does not already know. You can only bring what he does know to his awareness. Measure what is measurable, and make measurable what is not so. I do not feel obliged to believe that the same God who has endowed us with sense, reason, and intellect has intended us to forego their use. All truths are easy to understand once they are discovered. The point is to discover them. Where the senses fail us, reason must step in. Two truths cannot contradict one another. Knowing thyself, that is the greatest wisdom. The Bible shows the way to go to heaven, not the way the heavens go. God is known by nature in His works, and by doctrine in His revealed word. In questions of science, the authority of 1,000 is not worth the humble reasoning of a single individual. The Milky Way is nothing else but a mass of innumerable stars planted together in clusters. It is a beautiful and delightful sight to behold the body of the moon. By denying scientific principles, one may maintain any paradox. You may force me to say what you wish. You may revile me for saying what I do, but it moves. There are those who reason well, but they are greatly outnumbered by those who reason badly. Nothing occurs contrary to nature except the impossible, and that never occurs. Who would set a limit to the mind? Who would dare assert that we know all there is to be known? It is surely harmful to souls to make it a heresy to believe what is proved. They who depend upon manifest observations will philosophize better than those who persist in opinions repugnant to the senses. See now the power of truth. The same experiment which at first glance seemed to show one thing, when more carefully examined, assures us of the contrary. If you could see the earth illuminated when you were in a place as dark as night, it would look to you more splendid than the moon. The earth, in fair and grateful exchange, pays back to the moon an illumination similar to that which it receives from her throughout nearly all the darkest gloom of the night. Science proceeds more by what it has learned to ignore than what it takes into account. Well, since paradoxes are at hand, let us see how it might be demonstrated that in a finite continuous extension, it is not impossible for infinitely many voids to be found. Being infinitely amazed, so do I give thanks to God, who has been pleased to make me the first observer of marvelous things, unrevealed to bygone ages. In the future, there will be opened a gateway and a road to a large and excellent science, into which minds more piercing than mine shall penetrate to recesses still deeper. I've loved the stars too fondly to be fearful of the night. Mathematics is the key and door to the sciences. Passion is the genesis of genius. We must say that there are as many squares as there are numbers. They seem to forget that the increase of known truths stimulates the investigation, establishment, and growth of the arts, not their domination or destruction.